Hello subscribers, I hope you guys are doing well. Recently, CollectA revealed the last of their 2023 prehistoric world models. Now it's time to give my opinions on them. I'll start from least exciting to most exciting. First up we have a standard sized Triceratops. I'm definitely going to give this one a pass. The deluxe version from 2022 looks so much better. Here we have another giant sauropod, which is the Ruyangosaurus. I really do like the look of this one. The sculpt is great, especially with those large visible spikes. But my main problem is the gray color scheme. It makes it look way too similar to the 2021 Deluxe Mamenchisaurus. The least CollectA could have done is give this Ruyangosaurus some unique striping to make it look more unique. But other than that, I'm still excited for this one, though probably my least favorite of the new species so far. Next, we have an obscure hadrosaur, which is the Brigstonius. I believe I'm saying that right. My thoughts on this are pretty much the same as the Ruyangosaurus. I love the sculpt and the coloration. The cookie dough colors are quite appealing, but it's just too similar to the Fukuisaurus. Up next, we have the Stegorous, which is an ankylosaur that was actually recently described last year in December. I really like the look of this dinosaur model. Everything about it is great. Though I do have one slight problem with its size. It's stated to be over 30 centimeters long, which is huge. It's also kind of ironic since the real Stegorous was only estimated to be around 5 to 6 feet long. I would have preferred if they put it in the standard range and made it about maybe 10-15 centimeters long. Here is the Hadrosaurus. We've been getting so many great figures of other ornithopod species like Parasaurolophus and Edmontosaurus, but never Hadrosaurus itself. And this new model from CollectA is looking wonderful. Loving the sculpt, the detailing, and the paint job. This also makes the second ornithopod being released next year from CollectA. The first one is, of course, being the previously mentioned Brigstonius. And CollectA keep making more ornithopods. They all look fantastic, and this Hadrosaurus is no exception. Getting into the top 5, we have the Anomalocaris. Finally, one of the main companies has made a great figure of this marine arthropod. I'm surprised it took this long. Anomalocaris became more popular due to its appearance in the BBC Walking with Monsters documentary, and it's often considered to be Earth's first apex predator. The only other model that comes to mind is the one from Favorico Ltd, which also looks good, but it's not the most easily accessible to collectors. And once you find it on eBay for a more reasonable $20, you have to pay a lot of money for the shipping. And even though this Anomalocaris may be inaccurate, I still love the look of it. I like the swimming pose and its red shrimp-like colors. We have one more dinosaur, which is the Sauropod. Like Stegorous, it was recently described in 2021. I always feel a rush of happiness throughout my body whenever a new Spinosaurus figure gets made. This Sauropod looks great. The color scheme is fantastic since the black dots contrast nicely with the primarily white body. There's an articulated jaw, and it's going to be quite sizable at 24 centimeters long. Strangely, the tooth notch isn't present. I think that all Spinosaurids have tooth notches. I would have preferred if CollectA chose to make Suchomimus instead, since it doesn't have a definitive figure yet, and it's known from better remains, unlike Sauropod, which is known from fragmentary remains. And if you look at the feet, they're quite in proportion to the body. It shows that CollectA is able to make bipedal dinosaurs stand without the need of clown feet or bases. I like to think that they heard our complaints about the 2021 theropods. Up next, we have the Koolasuchus. Like Anomalocaris and Scyphactinus, it is about time that one of the main companies has made a great figure of this prehistoric amphibian. I'm pretty sure the majority of us know Koolasuchus because of Walking with Dinosaurs. In fact, there are so many animals from the Walking With series that are in desperate need of a figure. And CollectA adding this Koolasuchus to their prehistoric world range is a huge cause for celebration. The paint job is realistic and appealing, and the sculpt looks scientifically accurate. Though one weird thing is that CollectA gave it scales. I mean, there might be some study that I don't know of that shows Koolasuchus had scales, but it's still odd to see scales on an amphibian. But regardless, the figure still looks fantastic. Next, we have a marine reptile, which is the ichthyosaur Shastasaurus. There is a lot of debate whether Shonisaurus sikaniensis belongs in the Shonisaurus or Shastasaurus genus. Based on the slender body plan of this figure, CollectA went down the Shastasaurus route. The figure itself looks appealing, the sculpt is accurate to what we know of Shastasaurus, and the paint job is accurate as well. It's got the counter shading with the dark colors on the top and the light colors on the underbelly. Some people said it looks too similar to the CollectA Excalibusaurus and the Safari 2020 Ichthyosaurus, but all of those Ichthyosaurs look physically different from each other, so I think it's appropriate to give them the same color scheme. Last but not least, we have my most anticipated CollectA figure for next year, the deluxe Mosasaurus. Mosasaurus is one of my all-time favorite prehistoric animals, and I've been wanting an updated figure of it for quite some time. CollectA perfectly delivered. When I think of Mosasaurus hoffmanni, this is what I think of. Just look at the head sculpt. It's broad, it's got lips, and an articulated jaw. The proportions are updated with the comparatively huge head and short tail, and the body is appropriately bulky. The paint job is appealing as well. I like the light gray, very reminiscent of that of a great white shark, fitting for a large marine apex predator like Mosasaurus. Though I would prefer a darker color scheme, maybe something like a darker gray, but I'm assuming that CollectA went with lighter colors to avoid confusion with the Shastasaurus. And on top of all of those features, this figure is going to be a whopping 40 centimeters long. So this and the Stegorous are going to be the largest prehistoric world models for 2023. Well, that wraps up my thoughts and opinions video on CollectA's upcoming releases. The Triceratops is the only one I'll be giving a pass. The rest of them I'll be getting the moment they come out, especially that stunning Mosasaurus. So, let me know in the comment section which are the figures that you guys are anticipating. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button, it really supports my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.